Hey, what's up, guys? Super Anime Store Super Chat Podcast here. I'm your host, Justin, and your other host,
Carlos here. How you guys doing today?
Cool. We got Matt from Matt Inked?
Matt Tattooed.
Matt Tattooed.
Yeah.
And Clarke from Eldridge
Designs.
Eldridge Designs. There we go. We're not going to do multiple takes today. We sat here one day with some other people and did like multiple takes. So,
That's fine.
yeah,
Well-
this is our latest podcast yet. This is like an almost after dark episode here.
The first time ever.
Yeah, these two just got out of their tattoo shop. And what was
Yeah.
the name of it?
Master Pierce Professional in the
Master-
Wellington Green Mall.
Beautiful. And Wellington Green Wall. So they just drove an hour here.
Yeah.
I know, Matt, you used to come when the store was small,
Mhm.
right? And you used to, big Sailor Moon fan, right?
No, the
No.
X's.
No, the
but-
X. Okay.
Yeah,
We'll
no.
forget about that's right. We'll forget about the X.
No,
You were a
it's
big
fine.
Pokemon fan.
Yeah, very into Pokemon, Digimon, Hunter x Hunter, Yu Yu Hakusho for sure.
That's right. You're still waiting for us to have Hunter x Hunter stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly,
And then,
yeah,
Dragon
yeah.
Ball
Who
Z.
doesn't
yeah.
love Yu Yu Hakusho stuff?
Same creator.
Same
There you
thing.
go.
Mhm.
And Clarke, what about you? What are you into?
Big fan of also Pokemon, but also like My Hero Academia, Demon Slayer, Attack on Titan,
Right.
things like that.
And we have some of their art here. They're still on. There's Demon Slayer and Pokemon, right? And these are
Mhm.
two tattoos you guys did on people, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
So we'll start with not the anime first, but how'd you guys get into what you do? You want to take turns and?
Yeah.
You can go first.
I did start first. Well, I mean, I've been doing art my whole life. Been
Right.
drawing since I was 5. And what really started to get me into art was anime. I remember the first episode of an anime I ever saw was the episode of Dragon Ball Z in the Cell Saga. And it was the episode where Gohan is already Super Saiyan. He's got like one arm hanging down and he's bleeding. He's like walking up to do that final Kamehameha.
Yeah.
That's the first episode of an anime I ever saw in my entire life. And it was like,
Yeah, no, that episode is pretty inspirational for Dragon Ball fans. There,
Yeah.
inspirational enough for them to make a movie about Gohan again.
Yeah. Yeah.
What? So anime got you into art.
yeah, pretty much.
So you
like
got into it at the same time.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
shit.
I started as I think a lot of people who start the way I did do in trying to draw anime and manga and stuff, and
You draw
it
with
didn't
the-
go well, but you
the
know,
crooked
that's-
faces.
yeah,
yeah.
had hands always
But we
behind the
still
body,
draw-
so you don't have to draw them. Yeah,
No hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put shoes or boots on so you don't
Yeah.
show the toes. Yeah.
You don't think I draw stick figures?
Oh, okay. You have a way to catch up then. All right.
Well, they have that whole I forget what it was called, but Newgrounds.com. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah. I still
Oh.
use it to this day, actually.
You know those animations of the stick figures that do
Yeah.
all that fight? Was it Xiao Xiao or something like
Yeah.
that? Yeah. So there's a place for stick figures too.
There's that one stick figure game on GameFreak.com. He fought like all these different people. It's like a Matrix version, but with stick figures.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's Line Rider, but Line Rider's not a stick figure, but all those classic computer games. They probably have no idea what we're talking about. This new generation.
Oh, you know,
That's,
the children.
Yeah. So-
when you're old.
So, Clarke, what got you into anime or tattooing?
Also, kind of the same thing with Dragon Ball Z. My first episode was actually like little Gohan blowing up the moon when he was, little Gohan turning into Great Ape and Piccolo having to blow up the moon and everything.
God, this day off.
And,
Yeah.
But that was also that, and like video games was what kind of drove me into art, and I had done art for a long time. And Matt was actually the one that pushed me into tattooing because I was constantly watching him tattooing, being already in that studio as the head piercer in there for like 5 years or so. 5 years or so now.
So you did piercing first?
Yeah, I did piercing for a while first. I traveled from like Montana and then moved here to pursue piercing and everything further. And then just constantly watched the tattoo artists as we had different ones in the studio. And then Matt was just like, yeah, stop watching me and like actually learn this.
And try it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
The master becomes the teacher.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I've seen some of his art before, and you know, the first thing I recognized was that the stuff that he draws and everything already lends itself so well to being a tattoo, and that was one of the biggest things that I had to like surmount, I guess, when I started my apprenticeship tattoo, because I would draw these things with all these like crazy tiny little textures and details, and then you know the senior artist had to tell me like, okay, but like tattooing that is a different situation. So you know I had to start to make adjustments and stuff, but it's been, you know.
You can't just take it from the paper or screen onto the skin.
Yeah.
Not
Right?
always.
Yeah.
Not
yeah.
always.
I tried.
That's the
Had like the Amazon order of like the skin and the little
Mhm.
stick and poke. I tried doing it one time. I was like, "Fuck this! I am not a steady." I was like, "I'm not." I learned right there. I was like, "I'm not gonna try this." I was like, "I'm gonna fuck up someone's life." I was like, "I can't do that."
So as a like a tattoo person myself, have you ever tried to do it to yourself in order to train yourself as a tattoo artist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like the number one thing that my brother did when he became one.
Oh, he did it on himself.
Yeah, he does. He still does it on
Did
himself.
he do it to you?
Yeah, he did it on my
He
back.
did? What did you guys do then on yourself?
The first one I ever did on myself was a slice of pizza on my ankle.
Oh shit!
Right there.
Oh shit! That's not too bad.
He didn't hit the bone.
No, yo, yeah.
It still hurt like hell.
I'm pretty sure one of the Ninja Turtles would find that cool.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Yeah. And
What
then
about-
like I did this rose on myself to try shading for the first time,
Oh,
and then I
shit.
have like a huge like it's that vampire skull that's dripping rainbow blood on my thigh right here because I wanted to test out numbing gels because I was terrified of getting my head done, but it turned out not to be so bad. Also,
Oh.
numbing gels work, but only for so long. Just
Yeah. It's,
FYI.
Yeah, let me see what fucking
Oh yeah.
tattoo. Holy shit! We'll do like if you just want to send us pictures of all your tattoos, I could put them up on screen.
Yeah,
while we're-
cool.
yeah. So they're not like tiny little microscopic stuff all the way there.
Yeah, that's right.
If he ever gets a tattoo on his like pretty much like right here on his neck, I know what tattoo he would get.
Oh, have you guys watched Tokyo Revengers?
Revengers? No.
It's like this character Kazutori. He has like a dragon here. It's like a Yakuza type thing. So yeah, I'm obsessed with that character. So yeah, if I have enough money where I don't have to go to an interview and have this there, I'll have that there. Yeah. So I'll dedicate. I'll commit to it. What did you tattoo on yourself?
I most recently actually did like a little quote on my thighs that says like "We're all good" or "We're still good." It's a quote from an internet show that I watch every day. And then I've been recently blacking out my leg
that's
as well.
intense.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's a long process, but just recently started doing all of that, and I'm gonna cover that up to the top of my knee.
Oh, that's the. No, show him.
Oh yeah, and I did a little ditto mule myself.
Dude, I love the
Did a
dirt
little
face.
Bulbasaur myself.
I
Forgot
have
about those.
a derp calcifer
I love
from
that.
House of Wayne Castle, so I feel you.
That-
I have the little dirt face too.
That's actually
yeah.
from a page of designs from the shop we do like flash specials roughly
Friday the
once a
13th.
month.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, Friday the 13th is sort of like I guess like a catalog, but we just started doing ones every month. Anyway, I have one page that I drew up that's all Pokemon, but it like this one. It's based on the episode of Pokemon where that girl who's like a ringmaster or whatever has a Ditto who can't transform properly. And it always still has the Ditto face on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know
So
what
it's
you're talking about
it's
now.
just
Yeah,
a full
yeah.
page of failed Ditto clones.
Oh,
God.
that's hilarious.
For
so
that
I have
episode.
a dildo calcifer. Yeah.
Oh, a Ditto
Oh,
calcifer.
you heard dildo. Yeah.
I heard dildo as well.
I don't think dildo's a curse word, but it's fine. We'll roll.
No,
with it.
no, you're good.
Yeah.
You're good.
So then you both got into the art from the anime.
Yeah.
It was both Dragon Ball.
It was both Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I don't know
Yeah.
if we've discussed that before.
No.
Now we know.
I think that's like that with a lot of people in America. It was Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Because
Oh.
it was. Oh my God. How old am I now?
Yeah, I was about to ask. How old are you guys?
I'm 33.
33.
I just turned.
And I'll be 27 next month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm the second oldest in this room then.
I'm the youngest, obviously. Yeah. There you go.
Lucky you.
Yeah. 23. So, but okay. So we don't have a general thing. I started watching Dragon Ball on the VHS tapes.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
even watch it on broadcast TV before they dubbed it. It was the Canadian voice actors from way back then.
Mhm.
That's how I got into like the bloody, gory Dragon Ball that didn't hold your hand like it does today.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I don't know if you guys.
All the blood edited out and stuff. Yeah.
Have
I
you seen the movie?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
yeah.
I've been trash talking it ever since I saw it. I gave it like a 3 out of 10.
Damn.
Yeah.
You saw the movie Dragon Ball Super and you're trash talking it?
Yeah. It was bad. Yeah. If you haven't seen it, be worried.
I
Yeah.
understand.
But so what is it like now being a tattoo artist? Like,
I mean, it's great, and then obviously there are parts that it's literally like anything else. It's got like positives and negatives and stuff.
Pros and cons to it.
Pros and cons. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the pros far outweigh the cons in the situation to me. But it didn't really get to be as good as it is until now that I've been tattooing for like 6 years. Because at the beginning, it sucks. Because it's nothing but being terrified that every tattoo you're gonna do, you're gonna fuck it up. And then, you know, at the time I had some higher ups at the time that were not always like supportive, and they would always be like, "Oh, you're nervous, you know what I mean?" But that's part of the whole apprenticing thing, is like hazing, I guess. But you know, now that I'm out the other side on it, I'm like, it's incredible. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Do you feel that right now as an apprentice?
To a point, because I've already gone through the initial apprenticeship stuff with like the piercing, and I've already gone through like the hazing and
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have to do that, so that's nice.
I'm in a good environment. Like we were able to like skip a lot of, you know, like what we would start off with an apprenticeship with, like bloodborne pathogens, and like the health stuff is already well versed in all of that.
Oh yeah, that's
so
right. Yeah.
I'm a little bit more progressed into the apprenticeship, but it is still very. There's a lot of anxiety and everything with every tattoo still, you know, because it is like permanently putting something on a person.
That's true.
And so I still have to get over that whole factor, but it's fun. I like it.
What's your like the grossest story of like a person coming in? What's the like worst thing you've had to do so far?
Oh boy. Well, that would depend on your definition of worst.
That is true.
I'll tell you about the most awkward one.
Okay, yeah, something that you personally find awkward or gross. We all have different.
Okay.
Yeah,
So, and it sort of I don't know, fueled how I approach clients to this day. So this was back. I used to tattoo in Georgia. I lived in Georgia for like 7 or 8 years. I grew up here.
Okay.
But I just changed the scenery. Anyway, so I had a client who was like, you know, this big buff dude, and spoiler alert, they're always the worst about getting tattooed. Always the worst. It's always the women who will like sit like a rock and not like blink. Obviously there's an exception to every rule, but usually like the big macho dude, they're whining the most about it. But anyway, so it was one of those, and he seemed like he was struggling. We were doing something on his forearm, I can't even remember. And I was like, hey man, we can like take a break or something if you want. Like, you know, he's like, no, I'm fine. Like veins pumping, and I'm like, all right, cool. So I keep tattooing him, and then he passes out, and then he pees himself. And when if that happens, you can't move them.
Yeah.
You just gotta try and get them away. It's a whole thing. So anyway, long story short, if I think you need a break, we're taking a break.
Yeah. That is hilarious. Oh my god, he pissed. That might be the best one I've ever heard. That might be the best one I've ever heard.
Worse stories than that.
What did you hear? From your brother?
No. My brother hasn't. He started this year doing tattooing.
Oh right.
I heard from other people that I know who like watch YouTube videos and stuff. This guy was getting a tattoo. He paid for it already, right? The moment the needle lands on his arm, he runs away. He never came back. And he already paid for the tattoo and everything.
That's a big tip.
Honestly, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it.
Have you had anybody like run away or stop in the middle?
I mean, there's people that need to take a break here and there, but nothing crazy.
I've had one person. They didn't say like, you know, oh God, I'm never coming back. But we were doing something on his calf, and like sometimes people tap out, and that's okay. They need to come back for another session. That's totally fine. I tap out after a couple hours if I, you know, don't feel like too, I don't know, obligated to sit, because we'll tattoo each other. Yeah. And so it's just sort of like, we'll just go for as long as we can take it.
Sometimes it's only like an hour, sometimes it may be 6 hours.
Yeah, it depends on the kind of day you've had. Depends on how much sleep you've had.
Arthritis, carpal tunnel. Do you feel that coming up?
Do a lot of hand stretches.
Because like this will just get locked like that, and you just gotta like pull it back.
It's all the vibrations and everything too. It's not fun.
Yeah. Especially when you're holding chopsticks. Pretty much chopsticks is like holding a tattoo kind of thing.
Well, and then it's vibrating for you. It's like this. It's like shaking. Yeah.
And like when you're training up and stuff in the first few years, it's a lot more difficult to adjust to it. Now, he's been piercing for 6 years.
It's been 5.
5 years. And so a lot of like the hand stability stuff and like the sort of like muscles you need to like do the precision with that is a lot of stuff that he doesn't have to develop because he's already been doing that. The difference is the weight of the machine, because the piercing stuff weighs almost nothing.
Yeah, it's nothing.
And it's not like the machine weighs a lot, but when you're using the same one for 4 or 5 hours and it's been vibrating in your hand the whole time and you're having to do like precision line work and stuff the whole time, it starts to get very, very
Plus, like,
taxing.
pulling and stretching on the skin.
And it depends on the needle too, as well, right?
Yeah, so that'll sort of determine like the application method and how much pressure needs to be applied, or how much like, you know.
Well, I know the points of the needle, so I know like there's the one where like there's a 6 that's like kind of like straight flat, right? Or 3 flat straight.
Well, it's those are like
The
names
heads.
for them. So
Yeah.
basically, there's liners and shaders. So
Oh well, yeah.
Yeah.
I just remember looking at how many were at the end when I was. So then there's
Yeah.
like the shaders are the flat ones,
Mhm.
and then the liners are the circle ones, right?
Yeah.
And you can have both of those have 6 points, right?
Mhm.
Right.
You can have different like amounts of.
Right, different
Yeah.
amount for as big as you need to go.
It's like,
or, yeah.
I think it's all in odd numbers.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. No.
Oh, it's
yeah.
an odd. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Almost
So
everything.
it's like, you know, it's a grouping of 3. It's a grouping of 5. It's a grouping of 7.
Oh,
Whatever.
maybe I was thinking 7. Maybe that's probably
Yeah.
what. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So that does that then affect, like if you're using a shader or a liner, do those have different? Well, I'm pretty sure you just said those have different aspects on your hand that they give you different pain.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a more difficult one then, like to use? Like, which one do you think you can go longer with? You know, like tattooing someone.
I would say, if I'm understanding your question correctly, I think line work is more taxing
Yeah.
to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the shading you can just kind of.
Yeah, you can get a little bit more looser with it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
and it's like lighter application
Lighter
too.
applications. You're not having to be so small and precise on everything.
See, that's
Putting
interesting.
a lot of
yeah.
pressure into it.
Because I've been getting like only small stuff, so once I get a big thing, I'll know like, okay, when my artist is doing whatever, you know, like I know what's going on with their hand. I like knowing like little small things like that, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
Spoiler alert, it's gonna take a lot longer than you think it's going to.
Oh.
Whatever it is.
This one alone took 3 hours.
really?
That's
Yeah.
nice. Is it a phoenix?
Yeah, it's a Phoenix.
Nice.
3 hours?
3 hours.
My Goku, I took I think 20 minutes.
It
It was like 20 minutes.
Because there's some people that actually like getting small tattoos. It depends on the size, or like small, medium, or large. It depends on what size you get. It determines how much money you pay, right? Is that how it goes?
Yeah. It's like the words small, medium, and large with describing tattoos is like, it's very common and also like kind of like arbitrary, because like, you know, small to me means a tattoo like I think that's a small tattoo.
Like palm.
Yeah,
palm size.
something like that. Some people think this is a small tattoo, and they think this is a large tattoo.
Mm.
You know, so like when people come up and like the most frequent question, and it's just kind of like funny at this point, is when someone comes up and says, "How much for a small tattoo?" And I'm like, it depends on what you mean by small, and it depends on what you
Yeah.
want. It depends on, you know, where on your body. It's a lot of determining factors.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, I try and like, you know, just show me like this. You mean like small, or do you mean like, or where on your body? So sometimes they'll say like, oh, on my arm right here. I'm like, oh, that big too, because they'll sometimes just kind of subconsciously do that.
Right, and then they don't know that it has to wrap 3-dimensionally. It's not flat, you know, because it's gonna be
It's gonna vibrate.
small
It's
or
just-
big,
Yeah.
depending on where you put it, you know.
And when you're doing it
Yeah.
for long enough, you know, you sort of get into that mode of like, oh my god, this question again. But they've never heard the answer to that before.
Mm.
Exactly.
So-
I always like to think it may be your 100th time of answering the question, but it's their first time asking this question.
Yeah.
So you always have to go into it with that.
Yeah, because then like, you know, then I become the person like they come for a tattoo and they ask me a question. I'm like, oh my god, it's this, okay? It's like they don't know that I've just been asked that question 16 times in the past 20 minutes over text from clients. That's a gross exaggeration, but you know
Or
what I
probably
mean.
Yeah.
through Instagram, people will just.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I've seen like a couple artists that I follow just be like, stop messaging me.
I mean, I take all the
Yeah.
messages, but sometimes I can't
You can't
answer
do it.
right away.
That's
Sometimes
true.
I just need a minute.
I mean, with the
Always keep your patience.
yeah, with the store Instagram, it's like that too. Like we're just kind of like, it's 12 at night. What are you messaging?
Yeah.
Why are
You
you?
can set up auto response. It's 12. Auto response. Sorry, message us in the morning or hours at this time.
Was that text or
I
like
don't
through
even know how to
Instagram?
do that.
Yeah, you can do it through Instagram and
Oh,
stuff
shit,
too.
then I'm doing that.
Yeah.
I'm doing that.
Instagram, Facebook, Google, all of it.
Because me and the owner, like, we're on the Instagram, like, responding to people, and, like, I'm also, like, him and I are both setting up bookings for, like, the podcast and everything, like, yeah. It's like, we're gonna set that up. You show me how to do that afterwards. Yeah, please.
Yeah.
please.
Yeah,
show me
right,
how to
right now
do
that's a
that.
hassle for us.
Yeah.
I got you.
I wish we could do it with the phone calls. Like, if they call, we're just, like, busy.
Automatic message.
Oh my god. So in anime, I mean, we were talking a little bit before we started the podcast.
Yeah.
Matt, you said you haven't really watched a lot of anime recently. You've been more gaming wise.
Yeah. I I've been watching anime since I was very young and all that, and then right around the time that, not by the time Hunter x Hunter came out, because it came out like probably a year or two before I even saw it for the first time, but I watched it like 3 times through, and then pretty soon after that is when I just got into this whole thing of like, well, now I want to play video games most of the time, and then I'll watch Twitch streaming, and then I'll like, watch Twitch streaming while playing the same game.
Yeah. Or you ever try to like meet up if it's like an online game with a streamer?
I've been to like Shy too, because then I would be like on stream like sucking.
Well, hey, just provide content. You know what
Yeah,
I
I
mean?
guess,
Just
That's,
provide
yeah.
that's your
content.
best bet. As long as you talk to people, you are good.
Yeah.
I'm on
The
Twitch all
biggest
the time, so I
defender
don't
was
really
Dark
feel-
Souls 3 for so long.
Oh, I used to
So
love
long.
going on there and just dropping in and just the Kamehameha like sorcerer blast. Just everywhere. But so, what have you been watching then, Clark? Or
A lot of like My Hero Academia, Steven Universe. That's kind of like anime.
I consider I considered it anime.
we
Okay.
we don't really judge. I like to start like beef with like on the Instagram live. I like to say like, or just in store, I'm like, One Piece is trash, Hunter x Hunter is better. Like just to get people
Stir the
started.
pot, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But we don't really judge. So if you want to call it an anime, I know people will be like,
I commend you for that.
Yeah.
Steven Universe, I considered it an anime.
There's I don't know if it's by the creator of Steven Universe, but it looks like Adventure Time. There's like a new show coming out on Netflix. It's like a girl and a cat.
I think it is the new Adventure Time spinoff that they're working on.
Oh yeah.
It's a spin-off?
Yeah, it's like
Oh.
the alternate reality where it's I could be completely wrong, but it's the female version of Finn and the cat version of Jake and everything, and they go on to their adventures.
That looks so good though.
I remember the first time I actually met the voice actor who does Finn, Jeremy Shada, the first time at SuperCon. That was a long time ago.
Oh, it was 20...
2013. When
2013,
When I
yeah.
met him.
Fuck,
He
Adventure
hasn't
Time's
come-
been around that fucking long. Holy shit.
It's been out since 2010.
Really? Adventure Time? 2010?
2010.
Man.
Damn.
I remember. I don't
I
know.
feel old.
I don't
What
know.
the fuck?
I don't know if you remember, because you're more my age group.
Yeah.
Before Adventure Time was a show, it was just that YouTube video.
Yeah. It was a
Yes,
YouTube
it was.
short.
They released that first. That's true.
Wait. It was on YouTube first?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a YouTube short at first, before YouTube actually had shorts.
It was like a mini clip.
It was like a
basically.
mini episode of
Yeah.
whatever. Well, it was like the mini adventures of Jake and Finn's cruising around the whatever the.
Well, you're talking about VeggieTales, right?
No. Adventure Time.
Adventure Time.
Oh, it was on YouTube first.
Yeah.
It was on YouTube first.
Oh, I thought you said VeggieTales.
And then
No.
No, and then and then
right.
Cartoon Network picked it up, and like,
Yeah,
boom.
took
Okay,
it.
that makes more sense. That's because that's around the time like Smosh blew YouTube up.
Smosh
like
blew
that,
YouTube back
yeah.
in 2005.
7,
5.
6. Well, I just watched Anthony do a whole like podcast with Trash Taste, and he explains like how he could set up a website and like put like if you click on something on the website, it describes you and puts all these likes and views, and like he told YouTube how to do everything that everyone hates them for now. It's
Oh my
crazy as
God.
fuck. Yeah, but that's so interesting. I didn't know that about Adventure Time. But what's interesting is, so if Cartoon Network picked it up from YouTube, that's been happening. You guys know about webtoons?
Yeah.
Webtoons is like, if you make a really good manga, you could get it animated off webtoons. Like what was it? Tower of God was the one that on webtoons they got animated. It's on Crunchyroll now, and people love it. And like so now they're things that webtoon are like taking seriously, which just makes it more competition worldwide now, because it's not just the Japanese shonen series that gets animated. It's pretty crazy. How much do you guys know about like Japanese like culture and stuff like that? Like, have you do like a lot? Because I see you have the Oni mask.
I have a Hanya.
Hanya, yeah.
I have a Joragumo.
Ooh.
And then Nine Tails, which is a kitsune. Trying to think. I don't know. I got No Face right here.
Yeah.
I call her. I forgot what her name was. She's from the movie Spirited Away. I know that for a fact.
Oh, the main character?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot the main character's name.
I forgot her name.
Chihiro.
No,
right?
no. It's No Face, but she has.
Oh,
another
No
name.
Face. Oh.
It's No Face, but she has another character name. I forgot what her name is.
So you guys are in Wellington, obviously. So my question is, like, has Japanese like tradition and stuff? Because you do tattoos, and that plays a part in the Japanese culture, is in the sense of like the yakuza getting tattoos. But I know their tattoos, they call it something different. It's like Inunaki or something. Inugami, where it's like it means hidden art, because you're not supposed to show the actual tattoo.
Yeah.
It's only supposed to be hidden. Have you guys ever done anything where someone comes in and they're just speaking out basically their ass, and they're asking for like a yakuza tattoo? Have you ever had to like tell someone, no, I can't give you that? Anything that like is cultural appropriating, basically.
Or gang related.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not specifically yakuza,
Okay.
but I've had to turn down a few things. I've had to turn down someone wanting a swastika, someone wanting a Confederate flag, white power.
Wow. This is Wellington.
No. Just in my career.
Okay. I was like, holy shit, one area.
The Confederate flag and white power was Wellington. Yeah.
That wouldn't be too far off.
Yeah.
Fuck. Wow.
It sure was.
Holy
He
crap.
came up. And he said, "So I'm gonna ask you for a tattoo that's gonna sound racist." And I said, "Okay." And he asked for that, and I was like, "Well, yeah, no." And he was like, "Why not?" And I was like, "Well, you started it off by saying that it was gonna be racist, and it's a Confederate flag."
Oh my
And I literally
God.
there's like a family of like people of color in the waiting room, literally watching this happen. I'm looking at them like, I don't know what to do here, guys.
I don't know, this guy right here.
And so when I wouldn't do the Confederate flag on him, he wanted the white power, and I said, also no, for the same reason that I just told. What?
See,
So anyway, yeah.
Actually, the show we were talking about that has like, it's like a bunch of gangs on bikes and stuff. Tokyo Revengers. The main game, Tokyo Majin. Their thing is, it's the swastika, but it's reversed because it's the original meaning of the swastika.
Yeah.
Which is like peace and unity, all that other stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's interesting because I think they took it out the show, or they had to do something with it because you can only find it, the original drawing, in the manga, which is pretty interesting because now everybody it's easier just to not show it than to explain to people. It's different, right? Exactly.
Every anime with either that prospect or that, they're trying to block it out because it reminds them of what happened back then. So you want to take out everything that means that.
Yeah, the Japanese did wear an actual swastika as well from the original one.
Yeah.
So wow, damn, a Wellington. Okay, good thing I don't hang out over there. All right.
Have you been to the Japanese gardens in Delray Beach or
Murakami?
Murakami?
I've gone twice, and it was like probably like 10 years ago. It's a long
so
time.
Different now. It's so different now.
Yeah.
I have
The
never
house
been there.
That's
Yeah,
like
I've
on
never
the
been
island.
as well.
You have to go. You have to excuse. You're so close.
There's
I
so
know, I
many
really
things
have,
I have
literally
not
just drove
gone
past
to.
it.
I pay for my membership and I haven't been in a year. You know what it's just so far for me to drive. I'm like always so busy, but I'm probably gonna go like next week as like a day to myself. But so Japanese art has influence because of the anime. So that's why I asked about like, have you taken that into the tattoo? Thing? Have you ever?
Oh, big time.
So you guys have never had anyone be like, give me the full thing, like tattoo from my shoulders to my ass, the whole Japanese.
No.
Unfortunately, no.
No. The closest I've had is goes from like the chest down to the whatever, but it wasn't even like specifically Yakuza.
It was like Samoan tattoos or.
That's
No,
a good-
I've done like Filipino tribal. I've done like a few different kinds of tribal, but it was like a Japanese dragon. But at first, I don't know. It turned into this whole thing because he was trying to associate his tattoo. Well, no, he wanted to associate his tattoo with Christian symbolism. But I didn't catch that right away because my first idea was like a foo dog or something. And he was like, oh, no, that's more rooted in Buddhism. I was hoping for something more in Christianity. I was like, oh.
But a Japanese dragon?
And that's the thing is that I looked it up, and unless I looked at the wrong thing, it said that, you know, in Christianity, the dragon is the sign of the devil. And so I pointed that out to him. I was like, you want a dragon, but, you know, this. And he's like, oh, yeah, I don't care if it's a demon. I just want it to be Christian demon. I
That
said,
doesn't really make sense at all.
okay, all right. But then you do it. And I did a cool dragon, and I got the money.
I probably would have done. Yeah, I probably would have done like a Satan-looking dragon with like a bunch of like upside-down crosses. I would have just. That's what I would have done.
I mean, you know.
Without telling him, I'm just like, oh yeah.
Then when he gets-
It's very tempting to do stuff like that because they'll probably never know.
Yeah.
Probably.
Probably. Yeah.
Imagine he just goes home, just looks at his arms, like, what the hell did you draw on me?
Yeah. One day they wake up and they're like, oh.
Yeah, a lot of times with people who I'm tattooing for the first time, I'm just like, oh, how many dicks did you want me to put in this again? You know, it's like the sort of icebreaker joke, whatever. But I also wanted to give you just like this much fear that don't be a total shithead because maybe you'll get a tiny little dick. You won't. I won't. I've never done it. I've wanted to,
Quote.
but I've never done it.
Never done it.
No, I literally haven't.
All right, it's fine. Allegedly.
I've only tattooed a dick on someone twice, and both times were on the same person. My friend Victor from back in Georgia.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's not like, you know, dick. Say not like, you know, it's not like, it's more like rooted in like classicism. So it's like a nude male form, but
okay.
happens to have like genitalia also. Yeah.
Have you done anything like that, Clarke?
I haven't. I'm still pretty new into it, so most of my stuff is actually pretty anime related. I've done some Pokemon tattoos, Studio Ghibli tattoos, Demon Slayer.
You've kept it anime.
Yeah, pretty much. I've done a couple American traditional stuff, and then like I'm doing like some heavy blackout stuff, but otherwise I'm just kind of keeping everything anime right now.
See, I want my next piece. I talked to him about it. Have you guys ever played Soul Calibur?
Of course.
So you know Nightmare?
Yes.
That's what I want.
Ah.
But every time I've like thought about it and looked at artists, I'm like, I don't want it to look like an anime.
Mhm.
I don't want it to look like a video game character, even though it is. I kind of want it to have like, you know, the Dark Souls art.
Yes, I do.
Okay, Elden Ring art. Like I want my Nightmare to look like that. So I'm just like, I'm still thinking of like, because I used to do graphic design, so I know how to like, do design and stuff like that. So I'm just still thinking of like what I want, but I know that when I find someone to do it, I'm gonna trust them. I'm gonna sit there for like the 3 days, however it takes. I just want to get the whole fucking piece, and I want to get him like there with like his poor hour, and I want to get it all in color. I know it's gonna be like a fucking $3,000-$4,000 tattoo, but I don't care at the end of the day.
Probably, yeah. But
So-
like if it's the right artist with the right work and all that
Yeah.
stuff, pay the money and then you have it forever.
Exactly, right. That's why I haven't got it. And I know a lot of people who just go. I mean, I got this on Friday the 13th, the Goku. I didn't even, and now I'm just kind of like, damn, I kind of like Jujutsu Kaisen more than I do Dragon Ball. Even though I grew up with Dragon Ball, you know,
Yeah.
it's like.
Turn it into a Sukuna.
Okay, see, I'm glad I'm talking to a tattoo artist about this. Holy shit! Thank you, Clarke. That was a good idea.
Yeah, that's why whenever you have like an idea for a tattoo, like, you know, just
I already
run
know-
it by us or something and
I already know what my next tattoo is gonna be. Some good.
We'll sit here. I'll have to go through more of your tablets here. I'll get like an in-depth look once we finish the podcast
Yeah.
here. Have you guys had any celebrities you tattooed?
I've pierced.
Or pierced?
Yeah, I've pierced. I can't remember her name. It's the daughter of Vanilla Ice.
No.
She like comes to the mall all the time, but it's the daughter of Vanilla Ice. Can't remember her fucking name. But I've done like a nostril piercing on her, cartilage piercing and stuff. But that's it.
Did you take a photo with her?
No, not that type of person.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I see. I took a photo with like Rob Banks is. He's like a rapper, Florida rapper. I just took a photo with him. I didn't even post it. I always like to keep my stuff private too. But like we had at our North Miami store we had Christina Aguilera.
Oh wow.
And she just was so mean to us.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, like we were like, hey, like, like our associate was just like, I'm not gonna post a photo. I just want to take a photo. She's like, no, because paparazzi's gonna be here, and we're like, you've been in our security camera the whole time. If we wanted to, we could post this right now on Instagram. I was like, you've been on camera this whole time.
He doesn't.
Like,
I just found out this now. He never told me about Christina Aguilera going to the North Miami location.
what? I thought Alan told you.
He never tells me anything.
I'm
like a blackout of the
That's because like we're always delivering stuff. I'm always at all the stores. But so okay, do you have any crazy piercing stories? I just realized we're talking about focusing on tattooing, but
I mean, the craziest thing I've done, I did pierce the ass crack of like a 76-year-old man.
that is fucking awesome.
That's
The
probably the
crack?
weirdest thing. Yeah, the ass
Did you
crack.
pierce it closed?
No, I didn't pierce it closed. It was a little curved barbell directly in the center of his crack, like going vertical.
Is that like where the tailbone is?
It's a little bit below, just a little bit below. It's like
Right.
where
It's
the
above the
cracks-
asshole.
Yeah, above the asshole.
We
but,
can
like,
curse.
actually where
It's
it
been
is.
past 10 minutes. So yeah, there you
At home,
go.
please don't try to pierce your asshole or your ass crack or anything. This
no.
was just on a person who, like, I had pierced many times, and they are a big exhibitionist. They go to the nude beaches and everything too. There's a big elderly community that does, show and tell type of stuff. And they have like little competitions locally of like who can do the craziest thing. And so with him being who he is, knowing I'm going to be able to check up on him, we did something kind of crazy. And just so he can get a one up on people at the beach.
Old people are wild. Jeez.
No, there's this one crazy story. I was actually at Fort Lauderdale Beach at one point. A guy in full SM costume, whole outfit, walking down.
Oh, BDSM.
Yeah, BDSM
Okay.
pretty much. Full BDSM outfit. He looked like he was wearing like a gimp mask, walking in the daylight at Fort Lauderdale Beach. He was like thinking, dude, how do you survive on that? How do you survive in there on a hot day?
Did he have a mistress?
No, all by himself.
Oh, I'm surprised.
Wow.
I was expecting him to be on a leash.
Some
Yeah.
people actually
Well-
do that for exhibitions. Not a lot.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe he was commanded to by his mistress or something.
Yeah, it was walk a mile in like the suit or something.
You never know. Could be part of it.
I mean,
Some
that's
people got a
normal.
humiliation
That's normal
thing,
in
so
Florida, especially in Miami.
Yeah.
there's a lot of
Florida
there's
man
a
is
lot
real.
of shit.
Well-
Florida man.
Well, there is a nude beach in Miami. So
Yeah, there's a nude beach in Miami. Yeah, is that where the guy goes?
I think he goes one up further north. I think in like Port St. Lucie. There's
Probably.
one.
Oh wait,
Yeah, it's probably. I know that one. Yeah.
Justin.
Hmm.
That's my dad.
Oh, that's your dad?
Yeah, I had to go.
You have to go. All right, I'll finish the podcast.
All right.
Oh,
Sorry, I have to cut out with you guys for a
It's
little
okay.
bit.
No, you're
I
good.
Everyone, tell Carlos's dad no.
I'll see you.
All right, I'll see you, man.
See you on Saturday.
It was nice
Nice
to meet
you guys. Sorry, you guys. I'll be taking a temporary leave. I hope you guys like, comment, watch, and subscribe to this YouTube video.
Oh,
I'm gonna do
yeah,
that.
no, just go.
I'll see you guys later.
All right. That was surprising. Well, we'll give Carlos a second here to leave. I wish we could have like a second angle, like behind the scenes, just so, which we will soon. But what were we just talking about? That was totally caught me off guard.
The nude beaches.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. So we were talking about one up north, and then we heard Carlos's dad scream.
Yeah.
Um,
Port St. Lucie. I only
Yeah,
know that because
I
my
believe that's
parents
where
are moving to
my
Port
client
St.
was.
Lucie, so I really hope they're not going to the beach.
What is in Port St. Lucie?
I don't know.
What is there? I feel like it's just a place.
It's
Well,
a big
it is.
I feel like it's. What did you say?
It's like a big retirement community, really.
And that's
There's
is
a lot
that
of
it?
older
Probably
people
they
over
just
there.
they're just like, you know what? I've retired. I'm gonna
Yeah.
pierce my ass crack.
Apparently.
That's fucking.
I mean, once you're retired, you might as well.
The flower there.
This?
What is that?
It's a whole mess of flowers.
That one specifically.
This one here?
Yeah.
I think the closest sort of like descriptor would be like a peony.
Is that from? Have you seen Tokyo Ghoul?
Oh, I think you're thinking of red spider lilies, like the red spindly kind of.
Well, because I've seen them in white. Well, because in the anime they're white. So I was thinking, I was like, oh shit, is that like a fucking? Anytime I see anything associated with Tokyo Ghoul, I'm like, that's a Tokyo Ghoul tattoo. My girlfriend, she has a centipede on her arm, and like I met her, she like wasn't big into anime. Like she had seen like everyone's seen Death Note kind of. Like you've seen like the one-off thing like everyone saw like, around the time. And when I met her, I was like, oh shit, you watch Tokyo Ghoul? She's like, what's that? I was like, the tattoo. It's from Tokyo Ghoul. And like she wasn't like offended or anything. She's just kind of like, oh, what the fuck? Like, it's not just a centipede to you. Like, there's something behind it. So then she watched Tokyo Ghoul, and that was her first, like, our introduction of, like, in our relationship of, like, anime. So, like, that's why, like, I see tattoos now. I'm just like, okay. Like, actually, I didn't see the face in the spider, so I actually thought it was the Phantom Troop spider at first.
Oh,
From Hunter x
yeah,
Hunter.
no.
Yeah. See, so that's what I do all the time. And, like, I saw I forgot what it's called, the Viking... the Norse one on the other side.
Like little Odenhorn, like little Triskalia.
Yeah, I was like Valhalla, Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Let's go. I've always done that. Have you ever got anyone that's like super fan of something? Like, example, I was talking about the Nightmare. Anyone that just isn't listening to you, and you're just like, you know what? I'm just gonna tattoo this on him. Well, you talked about that with the dragon, right?
Yeah, I do have an anime specific one though. Oh my god. Okay, so.
Is it a One Piece fan?
No. It was a Naruto tattoo.
Oh.
And like, you remember that? Yeah. Okay, so he shows me the thing, right? If I could pull a picture up like reliably and quickly, I would, but I know I'm gonna be scrolling through
Just
my phone
envision
forever.
the most generic Pinterest Naruto tattoo.
It's Itachi's eye with the Sharingan, right?
Okay.
And it's in a triangle.
Okay.
With like a little Akatsuki cloud, like right at the top of it, right? So the triangle has like these little black leaf-shaped things, but I'm thinking it's the Amaterasu flames that he like does the Mangekyo Sharingan.
Right. Yeah.
And I just thought it was poorly done. So he he's doing his paperwork for the tattoo, and I'm looking at the reference, and I'm like, I gotta say something. And I was like, okay, so the tattoo you sent me, it's a badly done tattoo, right? Like I needed to just say it. And he was like, yeah, okay. I was like, he doesn't know. And I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna draw you as whatever. So then I drew him up a new version with it was the kind of Sharingan he had when he like used it against Sasuke, and I made the triangle into just like black flames and stuff, because I was like, if you want the flames, maybe not just these little almond shapes for flames, right?
Right.
So I bring the design to him, and he says, "Oh, where are the leaves?" It's like, what?
What does that even have to do with Itachi? What leaves?
I don't know.
Oh,
I guess Hidden
leaves.
Leaf
Thinking,
Village,
like, the
but
flames were leaves and
yeah,
stuff.
he thought they were like black leaves
Oh, see, this
in
is
the design, and I was
Spoiled
like,
the anime.
well, no. And I explained the thing about the Amaterasu flames, and he didn't really know what I was talking about. And I said, okay, we'll put the leaves.
Okay, fake.
And I just did
right,
it.
exactly.
Yeah.
But I just related. I didn't realize I could relate to a tattoo artist like this. So I changed my career, well, not my career, but I changed what I'm going to school for from graphic design to business, because I would do like a sort of like hire and off like on jobs for graphic design, and no one listens to the artist. Like they think they know everything. They're like, I need you to do this, this, and that, and I'm like, again, I understand you're going to pay me to do something that you want. There's also what's realistic and then not realistic. I didn't realize how intensely I could relate to that.
Yeah,
understanding
it's
that.
exactly the same. Yeah.
Oh my
It's
God.
crazy.
Well, you guys must have like one of the most stressful jobs.
Eh.
It's very rewarding though. It's very
Yeah.
fun.
Well, yeah, I mean,
It's very
The parts
stressful.
that are stressful are very
Mm.
stressful, and then
It's
the
the
rest of it
beginning.
is just kind of like fun.
It
it's
is,
telling
honestly.
someone the size and like this tattoo's shit. Hey, like let me do something.
Like
with
I
it,
just,
yeah.
whenever they show me a reference, like if it's heavily edited or like if it's not even a real like sometimes there's those little pictures on Pinterest of like fingers with like a hyper realistic lion head that's this fucking big on the finger, and I just like I look at it and I'm like, okay, so first question, do you know that this is fake? Because
Oh,
sometimes
I know
people
what you
see that
mean,
and they
yeah.
think that that's possible, while it could be in the realm of possibility that execution-wise, a microscopic, like photorealistic lion head, for example, could be done. Yeah, sure. The problem is when it heals, it's gonna look like a gray mess.
Yes,
Even if it doesn't look like that when it initially heals, in the next year, you have a gray blob on your finger now.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like,
It's so
if you really want it just for that picture, more power to you.
So
You know?
so someone got a Naruto tie, and speaking of Naruto, and you do piercing, did anyone ever want the fucking pain? Did they ever come in and they're like,
No one gave the pain stuff specifically, but I did have one kid come in with reference photos of Dobby and do a little triangular piercing on their nose, like Dobby's
oh shit,
from My Hero. Yeah.
damn. So I would love to see like someone actually have like real like pain fucking piercings sticking out all over the place. I actually
I'm sure they
Yeah.
exist.
I mean,
I'm
I
sure
essentially
they
got all
do.
the piercings. I just gotta get the correct jewelry for that.
right, well, because in their fucking dick too, because
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
my actual original like body journey, I wanted to get my piercings first and then my tattoos. Ended up going backwards. I was just like, fuck it. My ex tattooed me, and on my back I have a little like Deathly Hollow symbol from Harry Potter sticking folk when I was drunk, and then I just never got my piercings until recently. And my girlfriend was like, "Get your piercings on your 23rd birthday." I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna get my piercings on my 23rd birthday." And like now I have like these little tiny things. I'm waiting for them to heal, and I'm gonna start stretching them. So I'm like
Nice.
gonna get all the piercings I want because I love
Take
that.
the stretching slow. Oh my god, take it slow.
I have my friends who've told me, and I've also seen my friends and my girlfriend like hurt. hurt, yeah,
If you
yeah,
do it
yeah.
wrong, so you know how to do it right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I've been, working in shops alongside piercers for, my whole career and everything. And, they always tell you all the stuff to do. But I don't know, in my experience with people who are tattoo artists in particular, we're horrendous hypocrites when it comes to aftercare stuff. Because I don't do it right, but also I'm just like if it's something someone else did on me, or it's like not like him or something where we can like touch stuff up all the time, or
Yeah, if you're like traveling and getting something done, then you're gonna take care of it.
yeah, like my head, for example. This one, that was on accident. This is the same guy, but like I had a scab on this one, and I'm a habitual picker, and scabs aren't ideal, but they do happen. So like this was 5.5 hours of like solid color blending, so that's a lot of abuse for the skin to take. So scab's not surprising. Anyway, so I had a few down here that I didn't pick off, so there aren't holes in the ink. That's the key. You don't pick it, and
Just
then
let it-
it'll be fine.
Yeah.
But it's so hard not to. I was literally waking up and I didn't know what reality was yet, and I was just like itching, and they whoop and scratched it right off. And so now I have that nice little empty patch right there in the ink.
Can it get fixed? So can scars?
Yeah. I mean, you can put color right back over it. But honestly, I kind of like keeping it around as an example of what not to do. Yeah.
That's a good. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good way of putting it. Is there
Pretty
anything of
convenient.
like? Do you have any regrets of like any piercings that you've told people you've done or you've gotten?
No, honestly, I mean, most of my tattoos and everything, I'm gonna be doing black work and now everything now too. So I don't really regret any of the tattoos I'm gonna have or get because they're just kind of adding on to what I'm overall gonna be doing.
Is there like any nuances in tattooing, like ink wise? Like I know, I don't know if it was fake or anything, but there was like the ink from like it could like glow or something. Like when you tattoo.
Oh, that is
Yeah,
real.
and stuff.
That is
Yeah.
real. And I've seen it done IRL and healed. It still works. My only thing about the UV reactive ink is that it's not guaranteed, but it is more likely than regular ink to cause a negative reaction in the skin. So since we are injecting a foreign substance into your skin,
What if your organs?
there's
Yeah.
there's a chance for anybody to have a reaction to any ink. You know, it's but the thing is, you know, it's not an infection. It's like an allergic reaction sort of that can, like, when it's done, you know, you'll have like the itchy rash around it, whatever, and then it'll calm down. But some people have reactions that aren't quite like an allergic reaction, but for example, like hot spots and black tattoos.
Yep. My arm's constant.
Yeah.
What's that?
So
Well, is that a hot spot like the sport thing that like sports players get?
no,
It's different.
Or well, I don't know what sports players.
Well, it's
get.
like
I don't know sports shit.
it feels like a cramp, but it's just burning in like one specific area.
Oh no.
No. It's
So
not,
it's
okay.
like it must be some reaction to one of the ingredients in black tattoo ink, but if you're under the sun for long enough, or even for short amounts of time, for some people, the lines will like sort of like puff up, and get really itchy.
Oh shit.
Yeah, sometimes you'll get like little bumps and stuff. It's a weird thing that like I didn't know about until probably like a year ago. I just thought I had like weird skin stuff, and I was like, goddamn, this is happening again, shit, you know. And like tattoos itch while they're healing, but once they're done healing, they're not supposed to itch anymore unless your skin is just generally itchy. So I just thought it was something else, but no, it's the black ink, so
Mhm.
you'll get it all the
Whatever,
time.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
So
It happens
you're doing-
all the time.
So yeah, blackouts are relatively new to the tattoo scene. I want to say, right?
Actually, no. They're just a lot more
Mainstream now.
mainstream now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the blackout has been a thing ever since tribal was in like origination. Like even like tribal tattoos, some like parts of it are
I see.
like, you know, solid black and stuff. As far as like a tattoo as like, oh, I'm gonna get a blackout tattoo.
And
I
like a
don't-
whole brutal black type of movement. Too.
Oh yeah, that's a whole other thing too. I was gonna say that. I was gonna say that the solid black arm, we used to call it the piercer arm.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Why is that?
It's just like it's like a cliche thing, you know. Every piercer is gonna have their arm tattooed black. It's just
Really?
something. That
Not
you see.
every piercer, but it's like, you
I
know.
don't know. I go to a conference and many piercers, and a lot of them have a black arm.
Yeah.
A lot of them have a black arm.
Yeah, it's just how it is.
Oh.
It's just always like everybody got a left black arm.
That's like a stat in a fucking MMORPG or whatever. It's just like, oh, if you're a piercer, you have to have the black arm or something like
Yeah.
that. It gives you this bonus of piercing or something.
You're not actually part of the club until you do this.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, right.
Mhm.
You're not this level yet.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Honestly, this has turned into a tattoo episode, guys.
Well, yeah.
Usually we do like something about like your personal life and like stuff like that. Okay, well, let's get into that. With you, Matt. So, what have you had any difficulties with family or workplaces with having tattoos or like piercings and
Well,
colored hair?
when I was younger, my parents were very opposed to tattoos.
Mhm.
They were like, "Oh, you know, don't you can get piercings if you want to, but don't get a tattoo." Meanwhile, I already had 2 of them, so you know, too late. But I was just like, "Oh, okay." I didn't even tell them that I had tattoos at all until I told them that I was gonna move to Georgia to start pursuing tattooing. But you know, besides that, like, not really.
Was it an acceptance or a shock or push away?
It was just like, oh, okay, well, that's happening. And I was like, yeah.
See,
Yeah, it is.
that's. I would say that you're lucky. There's a lot
Oh,
of people
yeah.
who aren't. They don't get that.
Oh, yeah.
Were your parents or family members like that?
My dad didn't really care. He was a pastor and everything, so like he never wanted me to have tattoos or anything like that. But like he got over it. My mom, on the other hand, at first it was shock, and then it was immediate acceptance. I was 16 years old when I was getting my first tattoo. I told my parents I was going to go get a tattoo. They laughed at me and said, "Good luck with that." I went to my mom's best friend. She went ahead and took me to a tattoo studio, signed as my mom, and then I got my first tattoo. My mom walked in halfway in the middle of my tattoo and was like, "Oh, I hear my kid's here." It scared the shit out of my tattoo artist, but ended up, everything was fine. And she joked around saying that she wanted to get a smaller version of the tattoo and stuff like that.
Did she? No.
No.
So, have you ever had that happen? Like a Todd or Karen walk in? I call them Todds and Karens.
I know.
Yeah. Have you ever had those walk in or have you had one of those in the seat? Or would you? Both. What was your most extreme story of one in the seat? And you could probably do one for piercing or tattooing because you've done both.
Well, I mean, as far as the person getting tattooed, if they get to Karen or Todd level, it's not happening.
Yeah.
The thing is that up to a certain line, I will grit my teeth and bear it, and past that line I can, but then it's a no from me, because I don't have to tattoo you.
Right.
Just like you don't have to get tattooed by me. So if we're gonna sit here for, even if it's only 30 minutes, I don't want to sit here that we already don't like each other. And I won't. So, it's just I'm sorry, I just really don't think I'm the artist for you. That's how I'll put it. I won't say, "You're an asshole. Get out of my chair and don't ever come back." I've said that one time to one person in Georgia, and it was a very escalated situation. Only verbal, which is nice.
Okay,
there was no
no
no fisticuffs, but yeah, that's happened.
Have you heard
once.
someone in the chair have their partner or parent that was a Todd or Karen that came up and
Parent.
Oh, a lot of them. Were they there or did they show up?
They were signed for the tattoo.
Okay.
And then apparently the child, they wanted a tattoo. They told their mom about it, whatever. And then when they got in the chair with me, they were like, "Oh, can you just add this little detail on it?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, sure." And so the detail sort of turned it from looking like some kind of rat thing into sort of looking like the head of Baphomet suddenly. And his mother, or her mother, I can't even remember, their mother, was like, "You can't get the devil tattooed," blah, 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 screaming about it. And it was just it got to the point where she stormed off. And so the kid is like, "All right, fine, just do it the original way." And I was like, no, hold on here. This is a tattoo.
Yeah.
We're talking about right now.
You have to make sure you want it. Yeah.
Your mother is signing off for you to get this tattoo. So if she says no, it's no. But what you could do is get it without A, B, and C detail. And then when you're 18, come back, we'll do it the way you want it then. I'm for you getting whatever you want to do. As long, obviously up to a certain point, we talked about that already, but we're not doing this thing with Mom. We're not doing it.
So you have to be, you have to talk people out of the ideas that they find online. You have to tell them, okay, this is the size, this is the pricing, and then you also have to be a parent.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, respect your piercer or tattoo artist, please. Oh my God. Okay.
Therapist too.
Yeah, right, in the chair. Have you ever?
All of the time.
All of the time.
Every single one of the times, yeah.
Well, as a piercer, you probably don't have to talk to them as long.
Not as long as
right. Yeah.
It's a very fast process, but there are some times where it just takes a while. People are nervous.
Have you pierced any babies or kids?
No, actually, our studio doesn't pierce anybody over the age of 7.
Under.
Sorry. Yes, we don't pierce anybody
Under the age of 7.
Toddlers
Okay.
only.
Yeah, no toddlers.
Right. No. Yeah. I don't get that.
No.
I don't understand that. I actually don't understand why you take a 1-year-old and pierce their ears.
Well, I know, I'm Cuban. It's a cultural thing
Yeah, it's
for
all gonna
the
be
girls to
cultural.
all get. Yeah.
Everybody has their reason.
Yeah, everybody
I'm
has
just
their
more
reason,
on
I guess.
consent. I don't have consent to be stabbing no baby. So
Yeah.
that baby isn't giving me the consent.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
At least a 7-year-old could be like, I don't want it.
They'll like not fully understand what's about to happen to them, and then it's like a traumatic thing of like, Mom took me to a room to get stabbed in the face.
Yeah, I trusted mom.
Yeah.
Mom took me here, and I got hurt.
At least with the piercings, they close. Well, to a certain extent, as long as you don't stretch it and all that other cool stuff. So at least at 7, that's pretty cool.
Well,
that
I mean,
you
the
guys do
lobes
that.
still. Will lobes stretch all the way back?
Well, it depends. Depends on the person. I've seen people be able to stretch it up to 2 inches, take it out, and then be completely closed. And then people stretch it up only to like, a 00 or so, something kind of smaller, and just never be able to close. It's always dependent on the person.
Right. You want to put it to where you feel comfortable. If you ever take it out, that's where it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you can just get the nude color ones that match your ear color or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. You could.
And so, have you had any piercing experiences where Karen or Todd is in the chair, or someone walks in and they're like, "What the fuck?" Or,
Yeah, a few. None that is like too horrible though. I tend to handle most of the situations pretty
Right.
okay. I mean, there was one that got a little bit too much, and like I was jumped by 5 people. But like,
what the hell? Well, you can't just you have to go into it now.
It was a family. They were mad about a piercing fee and everything, or they had miscommunication about the price of the piercing fee and the jewelry, and they wanted 2, but they had only communicated that they wanted 1. And so when they had gotten to the room that wanted 2, and just like everything blew up, and that's how I apparently take everybody's money. So like it was a whole thing. But other than that, there's never been really anything. Like sometimes there's a Karen as a parent. Typically, the people getting the services are never bad. It's usually the parents.
Right.
Sometimes the significant other and everything. That's the problem. But
Oh yeah.
I run my room. It's my room. If you're
Right,
not,
you have to-
if you're not needed, get out.
Yeah,
Don't
like
need
when
you.
I saw my girlfriend get her. Is it a dermal? No, not a dermal, but it's like because you can get a dermal here, and it's like the flat one that they put in the piercing.
Mhm.
She got that on her chest. Is that a dermal? No.
Yeah, it's just like a surface anchor.
Right. Like I know, the piercer. He's going to go. I mean, Joe. He's like our friend casually. Like so. Like, but I'm just kind of telling this for everybody. But we're kind of having a talk. Like, if
Mhm.
someone is touching your partner, right, and they're tattooing them, and your partner wanted a dare, they're getting a piercing there. Let them do it, please. Like,
Yeah.
don't feel.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, because like
I actually
I'm.
just had a customer person reach out to me on Instagram, wanted to do the cats from Sailor Moon and everything. And
Okay.
day of appointment, they messaged me saying that their husband of 9 years or whatever was not comfortable with me tattooing their forearm because I was a guy. Yeah.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
I
and he
saw-
told her if he wanted to get it to pack your stuff and leave.
Yeah, no. See, I saw my piercer literally pull my girlfriend's skin up right out of her chest, and I was just like, "That's fucking gnarly." I was
Ugh.
like, you know what I mean? Right? It's like
I can't
yeah,
watch the
yeah,
piercing
yeah,
stuff
yeah,
happen,
but,
man.
I
I'll
mean,
pass out.
Fast, but yeah, exactly. Like you have to do that because like in that moment, like especially if the piercing's already there, like because I know like this is also like if you meet someone with a lot of piercings and stuff and they get something removed, you have to let that person do that.
Mhm.
I don't understand. Have you ever? Well, so you had the message text, but have you ever had to pierce or tattoo someone where their partner, or like it was close and they were like kind of looking at you a certain way or
Mhm.
something?
No, I wouldn't say that.
But you shook your head, yes.
Oh yeah, I absolutely have. Yeah, I did recently tattoo very close to a vagina recently, but she had her husband and her daughter with her, and they had clearly seen her naked before because it was all very like matter of fact, like looking at where it was placed and everything like that. And she was just, we were back in a room for like because we are in a mall, but I'll tattoo pretty much anywhere. Like it's fine.
That's an open family right there.
Yeah, they're
Yeah, that's a
maybe
pretty
they
good
just like do nudist stuff, whatever. Some people do that. So it was just like
No
the
judging.
yeah,
No
yeah,
judging, no
yeah.
judging.
Like the atmosphere of it was very like whatever, and I was just like, I mean, okay, yeah. But like years before that, this was back in Georgia, there was a lady who wanted, I think it was the same thing actually, a little heart like that, right next to the vagina. And I was just like, okay, you know. And then we go back into the room to do it, and her boyfriend is there with her, just staring me down. And I was just like, hello. He's like, can I just do it? And I said, I wouldn't really recommend you doing it.
Really, really had the balls to say, "Can I just do it?"
Yeah.
Oh my fucking god.
And I was like, I wouldn't actually recommend that you do it. If it makes you feel any better, I'm gay. Does that make you feel better? All right.
Did he shut up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, you're being an ass, dude.
You shouldn't have to say that, though. You shouldn't have to say that. I mean, it's so ridiculous out
I
here.
mean, it's not usually that much of a mystery, though.
The-
I can get a little bit like this sometimes.
Oh.
Sometimes, not always, but sometimes.
Are you guys down to ever do like something live streaming or for a video if we record it? Like it's just kind of like a vlog thing. Like if I come up and like, okay, I'm gonna get this pierced or this tattoo, would you guys be down?
Sure.
Yeah.
Carlos and I were thinking about it. We're thinking for a video, and then hoping the boss will, Jimmy will pay. He'll pay for it. We'll be like, all right, yeah, we're gonna get this as like a joke or something. But when we had this conversation, we were having it with someone else. It was like off the podcast. This is one thing I never understood. Maybe you guys don't understand it. Someone getting a signature tattooed.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you go about that? Like doing the signature thing. Do they
Well-
usually have it like on their arm still in Sharpie?
Oh, well, that is a possibility, but what we can also do, technology is wonderful. They could just bring in a piece of paper, even send us a picture of the signature, and I can import it into the program I use. It's called Procreate, and just like, digitize it and then like
Make
print
it
it out at
stencil.
different sizes, make the stencil, be able to like place
Right.
it in whatever exact angle they want to. But I have had someone come in, I forget what the fuck her tattoo was, but she had like the signature on her arm from the night before. It was like faded Sharpie. It was super, but she also had like the picture of when it was fresh done. She's like, "Is this enough?" And I'm like, "Well, it'll work. Let's do it. Let's do it." So it was fun. Like I got to use the shader thing that's flat like that. I sort of used it like a marker. So instead of like
okay,
even like
okay.
doing like drawing lines or whatever, I just kind of used it like a wide tip marker. It was fun.
Yeah, I was thinking because I would want like for whatever reason I would want Jackie Chan's signature. I'd want him to do it. Like I don't want him to grab the tattoo gun and just be like, do it.
I wanted that from Celine Dion, but you can't get near her.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
I went and saw her live in Vegas, and one of my with my mother, because we both love her. But one of my things I wanted to do was get her to sign my arm, and I was gonna get it tattooed. You can't get anywhere near her, which you shouldn't be able to. I mean, it's Celine. She doesn't have time for my gay tattooed ass to be like, sign my arm, please. But yeah, I found like just the signature that's like from her brand or whatever.
Oh, that's what
and
that
I got that
is.
tattooed instead.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. What's underneath it?
That's the day I got to go and see her live, September 30th, 2017.
Oh shit.
Fun fact: I believe the next day was the shooting at the Country Music Festival in Vegas, and I was traveling all day that day. So the people back in Georgia that I was coming home to, they hadn't been hearing from me all day, but they heard about this shooting in Vegas, so they thought it was me. But my phone is on airplane mode, and I'm like eating spars with my mom, like, and everybody thinks I'm dead. So that was funny. Coming back, I was like, no, just flying.
One last thing about the tattoos, to be basic as a question, but did you guys do any of the I survived COVID tattoos?
No.
People are doing that.
You didn't know about this?
No.
Okay.
Why
I
are
watched
they
it. It was in the it was peak quarantine, and I just saw a video. I saw a video, and it was just people giving, I survived COVID-19. I beat COVID-19. I was like, you do know you can get it again, right? Even if you have the vaccine. Like it's the
Can't you
funniest
just
thing.
get like a little button? What happened to those?
I still have mine, I think.
Yeah.
Like I have my vaccine.
Yeah, the
I beat
sticker.
COVID.
That's what you get the sticker
the
for.
sticker, the
Put
pin.
it on your car. That's pretty permanent.
Oh my god. But well, I think we've hit an hour. We hit an hour mark here.
Alright,
It
cool.
is awkward for me at least, because I did not know Carlos was leaving. I usually do backup on him for energy, but I'm glad you guys came on. Like I told you guys before, I would want to do a reunion podcast with, like, once we have some more tattoo artists on here and stuff like that, and if we have any ideas for a video, we'll hit you guys up.
Totally.
And, everyone, go get a piercing and tattoo from these two right here. Well, tattoo from both, piercing from one. Do you still do piercings?
Still doing piercings for the next like year or so.
Okay, cool. Is it like a license thing?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
like
okay,
contracts
right.
and all that stuff.
And then you're just gonna do tattoos.
And then just the tattoos.
Okay, if you want to give us one of those piercings, do it now. Yeah. All right, so thanks you guys for watching. We'll put all their links in the bio. I'll do like the booking page, the website, the location of the studio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then make sure you guys go check them out. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video with everyone you know. Put the notification bell on. And have a nice day, guys. See ya.